Gold CIL process. The raw ore is fed into the raw ore silo and enters the drawer crusher through the rod feeding machine. After crushing, the crushed product is sent to the single-cylinder corn crusher for secondary crushing through the one-belt conveyor, and the secondary crushed product is sent to the vibrating screen through the two-belt conveyor. The product on the screen returns to a multi-cylinder corn crusher for final crushing through the three-belt conveyor, and the final crushed product is fed into the vibrating screen through the two-belt conveyor to form a closed circuit. The product under the screen is sent to the powder ore bin through the four-belt conveyor. The material in the powder ore bin is fed to the five-belt conveyor by the electromagnetic vibration feeder and then conveyed to the first stage grade type ball mill. The ore discharged from the ball mill is fed into the double screw classifier. The big size from classifier returned to the ball mill, and the overflow of the classifier enters the slurry tank. The slurry pump conveys the slurry to the cyclone for inspection and classification, and the sand deposited by cyclone returns to the second stage overflow mill to form a closed circuit. The output of the second stage mill enters the slurry tank, and the cyclone overflows to the next section. Before thickening, a trash screen is needed to remove the impurities in the overflow pulp, and the pulp under the screen flows to the thickener by itself for thickening before leaching. The flocculant system pumps the flocculant into the thickener to accelerate the settlement of the ore pulp. The overflow of the thickener is returned to the water cycling tank for recycling. The underflow is lifted to the mixing tank through the pump. At the same time, lime and sodium cyanide are pumped to the mixing tank respectively. The slurry is transported to 2 leaching tanks and 6 leaching tanks by the slurry pump, leaching and absorbing in sequence. And the absorbed ore pulp flows to a sieved sieve by itself. The carbon on the sieve is recycled, and the pulp under the sieve enters the mixing tank to prepare for tailings dry discharge. The new carbon is added to the last absorption tank, and the carbon is passed through the carbon extractor to make the carbon go against the flow direction of the pulp. Move the carbon from the back absorption tank to the previous tank one by one, and finally the gold-loaded carbon and the pulp are taken out from the first absorption tank. The extracted pulp passes through a separating sieve to screen out the gold-loaded carbon. The pulp under the sieve flows back to the adsorption tank by itself, and the gold-loaded carbon on the sieve is sent to the analysis and electrolysis workshop for processing. Under the action of high temperature, high pressure, and a desorption liquid, the gold-containing substances in the gold-loaded carbon enter the desorption liquid for electrolysis, and the gold sludge produced is sent to smelting for further processing, and finally alloy gold is obtained. After the slurry is fully stirred by the mixing tank, it is pumped into the filter press to fill up the filter chamber, and the filtered clean water is discharged from the filter press and returned to the cycling system for recycling. The mud cake after pressure filtration is spreaded from the filter plate and transported by the conveyor belt to the factory.